Alright guys, so here we are with a tyre saving video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to save your tyres on the F1 2014 game, just like I did last year. So make sure you subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this in the future. But today, for this first run, we're going to do a 10-lap stint around Spain with a qualifying setup, and then we'll follow it up with a tyre saving setup to see what the differences are. And along the way, I'll give you guys some driving tips as to how to save your tyres and fuel on this game. If you want to see a more in-depth view on how to save your fuel, then I'd recommend go checking out Aarav's channel to see his video on that. But this video is going to be more focused on the tyres, and as always, tyre wear is a major factor on this game and being quick in the races. So here we go for our first run. We're going to do this 10-lap stint on the qualifying setup, and throughout this race I'm going to be running with fast revs on the straights and then standard everywhere else as I get my words out. On the second run, we'll be doing more of a tyre saving and fuel saving style run where we run fast revs only on the straights, standard everywhere else, and then through the third sector we'll be running lean, but we'll get to that later. And just going through this first run now, setting a 24.5. That was our fastest lap of this first race, and fairly decent lap in the end. We've now taken the lead of the Grand Prix, I think, on lap 8. Oh no, it's lap 9. As we can see, Hamilton is now coming into the pits, and we can see that the tyre wear isn't really that bad at this stage. After going one lap longer than what we should have, we can already tell straight away that the tyre wear isn't quite as bad as what it was on F1 2013. At the end of our run, we've done a 26.6. That's 2 seconds slower than our PB of that run, so that's not too bad, especially on a track like Spain where the tyre wear is really harsh in the past. And as you can see there, just a comparison of all the lap times through the stint. And now cutting to our second run. This time we're going to do a setup that's more, let's say, forgiving on the tyres. So we're going to change some aspects of the setup, like the suspension, the balance, and the camber, to effectively make the tyre wear a little bit better. But we're going to test out to see if that actually changes anything on this game, because I've had the theory that the tyre wear on Codemasters F1 games has been scripted, and we're going to test that out now to see if that really is the case on F1 2014. So far, we're just changing the balance, moving it further to the left to get us better front-end grip and better tyre wear. If you move it further to the right, then you're going to have more responsive car, and at the cost of tyre wear, obviously. So the balance doesn't make too much of an effect on tyre wear, but we're still going to change it anyway. The factors that do, in theory, make a big difference in tyre wear is the front and rear spring stiffness and also the camber. We're going to move it more towards the middle. We're not going to move it all the way to the right because we still want to have a decent amount of pace to run in this second run. So we have a fairly realistic tyre saving setup that still has a little bit of pace. And also with the camber, we're going to move that further to the right at a cost of cornering speed. But of course, we're going to have a lot better tyre wear in theory. So we'll test that out in this race, and I'll show you guys some tyre saving methods that I like to use that help me sort of be more efficient against the AI or other people in the race. So first thing you want to do is just stay off the curbs, stay off any kind of marbles, and don't go anywhere near the grass or the gravel. That sort of thing is really going to damage your tyres. Also, try and keep your temperatures, try and keep them cool. Don't go sliding everywhere. If the tyres overheat, then they really start to go off even quicker, especially if the tyre wear is already fairly bad, like halfway through its life. You don't want to be doing that. But so far, we've started this race, we got up into P2 just like we did in the first race. Now we'll just be looking to run some clean laps for the rest of the race and get a direct comparison in comparison to the first run that we did. But on lap 3, we've actually passed Lewis Hamilton, and that's quite weird because on the first run we weren't able to do that. I think that was mainly because this is my second run and I'm a little bit more used to the game in comparison to the first run, where I just jumped straight on the game, didn't have any practice, so I was a little bit cold. And as you can see, with the help of DRS and Slipstream, we've done a 24.0. That's 5/10 faster than our previous personal best in the first run. And as I said, that's just down to being used to the game and having that DRS and Slipstream. But here we go, some tyre saving methods. You want to be really smooth on the throttle, especially if you have no traction. Just try and minimize that wheel spin as much as you can. Shift up early in the lower gears if you can. That's going to help tyre wear as well, or tyre wear and fuel as well. Through this third sector, I'm going to be running lean revs. That helps the rear wheel spin. It reduces it. and it also lowers the revs and the fuel usage in the race. So it just makes you a lot more efficient in the way that you drive and achieve lap time. So, you know, saving your tyres and fuel, it's not about driving slowly, it's about driving smart, being efficient with the things that you use to go fast. So far, we're still in the 26s. On lap 9, we did a 26.6, but that was just down to me making a small mistake on that lap. And, yeah, just other fuel-saving methods, tyre-saving methods. Just try and be as smooth as you can with your steering wheel inputs. Just try and do it in one nice, smooth input, especially through fast corners. If you're really jittery with the wheel, you're going to overheat the front left tyre or the front right tyre, depending on what kind of corner you're going through. And then the tyre temperatures just escalate, and then the tyre wear just gets out of hand, like we see at Silverstone on F1 2013. But due to the naturally colder tyre temperatures, that might not be such a factor this year. Coming across the line for our 10th lap, we've done a 25.6, only 1.6 seconds slower than our fastest lap, and in comparison to the previous run, we were 2 seconds slower than our best time. And our best time was even faster on the second run. So that just shows that a tyre saving setup is a little bit more consistent in comparison to a qualifying setup. But in saying that, with a qualifying setup, you're going to be a little bit faster at the start of the stint as well. So here we can see a comparison between the two runs. We can also see the tyre wear graphic to see on the colour scale. It's actually not that different, to be honest. So you could say that the tyre wear, if you just look at the graphic, is pretty much the same across a qualifying setup and a tyre saving setup, which was quite weird. But when you look at the lap times, you can see, especially from like lap 4 or 5 onwards, on the tyre saving setup on the right, we can see that the lap times are actually a lot better, and it gets a lot better as the stint goes on. Try and ignore lap 8 on the right hand graphic. That was when I made a mistake. I did a 26.6. But you can see on lap 9, in comparison between the two laps, on the right we did a 25.6, which is a whole second faster than what we did on our very last lap on the qualifying setup. So that just shows there is a difference there. It just shows that maybe tyre saving setups aren't, you know, quite as bad as what we thought they were in 2013. But in saying that, qualifying setup was actually pretty slow in comparison to the saving setup at the start of the stint. I hope this is all making sense. I'm saying a lot of things in quick succession, but you know, if I had to make a verdict on it, I'd probably say that a qualifying setup is still going to be fairly good for you, especially if you're doing league racing or, you know, career mode or something like that. The times are going to be faster at the start of the stint, but if you can just manage it, I think the tyre wear will still be, you know, fairly well manageable this year, because the tyre wear is in fact reduced in comparison to 2013. So that's just my verdict. Let me know what you think. I'm sorry I didn't get, you know, the best kind of comparison between those. Just be aware that the qualifying setup does have a lot more time to find, especially at the start of the stint. That was because I was just jumping straight on the game. I was a little bit cold, but you know, that's been this video for today. I hope you guys, you know, learned something from this. I hope, you know, this helps you out in terms of setups or tyre saving, fuel saving as well. All those things make a big difference in being a little bit more competitive against online players and against AI players as well. But that's been this video for today. If you have any suggestions or questions as well, then let me know down in the comments. I'll try and answer as many questions as I can. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to see more F1 2014 videos in the future. But until my next video, guys, I'll see you next time.